G'day YouTubers, Wazza here. Alright, so we're doing the MT10 update and just wanted to ask a question. How much modifications is too much? How much modifications is too much? You know, I'm seeing on all of these forums and that, everyone's modifying this and that, and fibre carber, and front guards and rear guards, and new screens. You're not going to get your money back. So I'm just curious, you know, let's face it, the first company to do this is Harley Davidson. You buy a standard bike, all of a sudden you spend a couple of grand and get your first stage or your second stage, and you know, add your bits and pieces on. But I see now all of the other manufacturers are doing that. So my first and second Harley I had, I did this very thing. I upgraded it, so I got better and faster, and when I found that I was using all the power and don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun, and up in the hills I kept up with a lot of sports riders, not the good ones of course, because a good rider on a sports bike like this, you really don't have a chance, do you, on a Harley? But doesn't mean you can't have fun. So I got to there, and I'd spent some money on my Harley, took it to the track, had a lot of fun, and realised I could use it all. And that got me onto this bike here. When I saw this bike, I thought, oh, this bike could be with me for the rest of my life, wouldn't need modifying, just buy it. Bought it, realised there were just a couple of things that you need to do. But do people need to go to the full extreme that they are? Nothing. So let's take that off. And let's start with, I'm coming up. Sorry, might have been a bit. I'm coming up to my 10,000 second service. So I spoke to Yamaha. I've got to get a loan bike. I might do a review on one of their loan bikes. They're happy for me to do that. But right now we're talking about this bike. So look, when on these forums, people are buying these bikes, replacing the front tyre, the brake pads, and doing all of this stuff. Really, is it necessary? These brake pads on this bike, I can't find anything too much wrong with them unless you're a super duper fast rider, racetrack professional. Then I guess maybe you might be looking at pads, but even then I don't. This bike is fine in standard mode with pads. The tyres, okay, so like I said, I'm approaching 10,000. So plenty of tread on the side, a little bit in the middle there. So it's due probably 11,000, probably now it's due for tyres. So on that service, I'll have a look to see what prices there are. The pipe, I get a pipe, you know, don't have a pipe. Do have a pipe, do have a full system. You know, that choice is yours, and I reckon that's a good investment. The brake pads, if I was going to replace the brake pads on this, as I said, I don't think you need to do them straight away. Why throw out a perfectly good set of brake pads? Why not use them when you go to upgrade next or change your tyres, swap them out then after you've used them? I'll look at some different tyres for this bike, even though I have had no problems whatsoever at the Bridgestone, including on the racetrack. They haven't let me down at all. They've been good. Radiator guards. I get the importance of radiator covers, guards for those things there. I don't know whether I've said that before. They're important. I think the Woolwich race tune, I reckon that's important. These bikes, they seem, I didn't realise it coming off a Harley, but they run lean, and I guess it's the same as a Harley. They run lean straight out of the factory, and people are putting pipes on them, and all of a sudden flames are coming out the back. Yeah, beauty, looks great, but it's sort of running at lean, and you can end up with engine problems. I really don't think that's a good idea on these particular bikes. I think that a map, Power Commander, that's the other thing. You know, we've talked about this before, and I've spoken to my mate about this, and we'll do another update video on the difference between Power Commanders and the ECU Flash, whether it be Woolwich or whatever. He does a custom tune. I think it's served a purpose. It's made the bike much better, and I think it'll last a lot longer. So I'm hoping I can get 200,000 out of this bike like I did out of my Harley. I'd love that. Travel, tour, the petrol. We've talked about 188 k's of all types of riding, fast and slow. That's about a full tank of juice, and you still got a bit in reserve to cover you. What else was I going to say? Well, that was it. My update. As I said, I'm at 10,000 k's. It's been sensational, so much fun. It's so easy to ride, so solid on the road. You really, the MT10 is a sensational beast. It's not really many things touch it on the road, and I'm sure on racetracks you pick shorter straights rather than longer ones. People would have trouble touching you on a track as well. Bang for buck, Jesus, these are so good. Straight from the lights with this tune in B mode, the jump straight up in the air. If you go a little bit harder on your res and take off, straight up in the air it goes, and just keeps on going. And so you're really, B mode is for a very aggressive riding. A mode is great for all around use, and A mode is pretty well what I use it in. I'm thinking about just after this tune, I'm taking the traction control completely off and riding it around for a while to see what that's like, and just see what the back end starts doing, and whether I can get it a little looser in the back like the Harley was. But overall, I think that this is a wonderful bike for me to have upgraded to, and for a lot of people that's come off bikes that perhaps are lower capacity and have had experience riding. I think it's a great thing to get experience riding bikes, ride to your capacity, and a Harley is a really great way. If you want to ride a Harley fast, and you can ride it fast, you have to learn to use the road, use your lines, and focus on how to get the bike from point A to point B in the smoothest possible manner. If you can ride a Harley fast, you can ride an MT10 with a couple of months. I allowed myself 5 to 6 months to learn how to ride this bike and become familiar with it. I'm travelling back and forth from Sunshine Coast to Brisbane, lane sharing. I'm getting used to that now. It's wicked. It is so much of a good, sturdy, reliable bike. Nothing really gets in your way. You're just seamless. All is well with the MT10, and give us your feedback on any bike you got, and all these modifications. These forum sites are really pushing for everyone to modify their bikes. How much do you really need to do? Don't you just need to tune your engine, protect your radiator and oil cooler, set your bike up with your suspension for your weight and height? I've been lucky. My weight and height suits perfectly for me. I haven't had to do that. But if you're a bit heavier or a bit taller, you're best off to do that. It's bugger all money too. And it's something I might just look at doing, just to put it on a video, just to show you. Bugger all. I think it's $120 or something. They set your suspension up. Basically, check it out. And that would be good for many people. You see people at the racetrack when I was doing it, and their bikes are wobbling, and I don't know, maybe it's the make or the model or the suspension setup. Maybe it's just suspension and they just haven't set their suspension up to their bike. Or maybe it's rider use. Either way, setting your bike up first and foremost is a great thing. As I said, these brakes are sensational. There's nothing wrong with them. The brake pads are fine. There's been another video YouTube out there with 4 different top leading naked bikes. The MT's right up there with standard brakes, right up there with braking with standard brakes. So really, there's nothing wrong with them. Just ride your bike, stop spending all the money on it because you're not going to get it back. Ride the thing and post some videos so that we can all see you riding your bike. So I love seeing people put carbon fibre on, but Are they going to go faster? I'm not sure. Well, maybe it lightens it, but in the end, you got to ride it. Show us some videos of people riding their bikes. Love it. Catch you later. Thank you so much. Bye. Thanks for my subscribers too. Man, I didn't think I'd ever get this many subscribers. Yeah, it's so nice, and I'm starting to make a little bit of money on YouTube. Now, I'm not trying to boast about that. It's something else that I never thought I'd do too. So I'm really stoked and appreciative of everyone that spent the time with me and liked and shared my videos and subscribed and watched a few ads. Wow, you know, when I say a couple of bucks, and I mean a couple of bucks. Nothing much to write home to mum about. Anyway, cheers for Oz. She's been hot lately. Yeah, I don't know whether you've seen the videos of people frying eggs on the bonnets of their cars. That's what it's like. Yeah, it's starting to cool down now. But geez, she's been a cracker this year. And the MT smashed it hard. Alright, see you later. Cheers.